Hello and welcome. How's the sound? Hey, Nancy, my semi-neighbor. Hello. I think that's Nancy. The cat on the wall. Hi, welcome. Hello, my friends and fellow seekers. Welcome to ChakraTouch Live. Nancy. Okay, sounds great. How's the background, Nance? What do you think? I like that one. Yeah, my other one, I'll show you the other one. You tell me what you think is better. Hi, guys. We're just playing around right now. We'll get started in a second or a minute. This is the one I normally use. I think it's a lot more calming, but since I was wearing an orange shirt, I was thinking it might blend in. Hello and welcome. Please say hi. Introduce yourself, where you're from. Welcome to ChakraTouch. What do you think, Nancy? The blue one or the orange one? I think I'll go with the blue one. All right, my friends. Yeah, I love the blue one too. Hi, Lauren. Oh, you love the blue one. Fantastic. Hello, Lauren. Welcome. Who else is here? Well, Lauren, where are you in from? Carrie, hello. Good to see you. How are you? NZ, wonderful. Hi, Anya. Anna. Oh, okay. Did I say it? Do we say it? Anna? Ukraine. Ah, wonderful. Nice to have you here. I would pronounce it Anya, but we'll go with Anna, right? I like to say people's names right. My dad used to get my friends' names wrong when I was younger. He'd get them so wrong, he wouldn't mispronounce them. He'd call them by the exact wrong name. Like, it was so embarrassing. Both names are correct. Love it. Well, welcome. Looks like you guys are the lucky ones because you're the early ones to come in. So that is great for you if you are looking for getting any guidance. But first, I want to see how everybody's doing. I know where Nancy's from. Carrie, I forget where you're from, dear. Yeah, it is a Mercury in retrograde as well. So you never know what'll happen with that. Maine. Okay. So we're Northeast members. I'm in Rochester, New York, which is in Western New York State, for anyone who knows that geography. And my name is Greg Phillips. I'm happy to have you here. And this is just my fourth live. So this is really exciting for me to be doing these. And it's all made possible by you lovely people showing up. And we'll wait for a little bit and see when we get a few more folks, and I'll tell you what we're going to do today, which I personally think is really quite fun. Carrie, you were, oh no, you weren't on my list the last week. Okay, that's cool. Hello, Messenger of Love. Welcome from Michigan. Thanks for joining us today. That's a cool name or title. How's everybody feeling today, other than Carrie saying the moon is messing with her? Hello, Kimberly. Hamilton. Yes, so you're across the lake from me. Wonderful. I'm in Rochester. Personally, today I feel a smidge run down, to be honest. It's been a busy afternoon. Had to do some grocery shopping and run on a few things. And ever since Wednesday, I've been deeply reflective on different things. So that tends to be more of a restful state for me, not as active, which I'm okay with. Um, otherwise, Otherwise, I'm feeling really good and I'm really excited to be here and see what your guys' energy says to us today. So, rundown headachy. Yep. Well, that's just life sometimes, isn't it? Cool. So a couple of you are not new to my work, and it looks like a number of you are. So let me tell you a bit about what ChakraTouch is and what I do. I am been playing around with different labels, and labels don't really matter, but I do like having fun with them. So currently I'm saying I'm an intuitive healer and a spiritual energy guide. And what that means to me is my gift is, I call it ChakraTouch. I use my hands remotely to tap into your chakras, and I just hold a space of love and I listen and witness. And eventually, hopefully, your energy speaks to me and it starts to show me shapes. It shows me the quality of movement of the energy. Sometimes you end up seeing colors and whatnot. And then I reflect and describe it back to you. And together, we work to address whatever the intention or question for the guidance might be. So in one case, it might be like a physical owie, or in another case, it's trying to shift a pattern of thinking or getting grounded or filling with love. There's all sorts of different reasons to ask for guidance from source. And that's what I do. And if anybody is interested in a reading today and looking for some guidance, support, love, grounding, whatever, you can definitely virtually raise your hand in chat. So I'll start making a list of names. Like so far, I've only been able to do 5 in an hour and a half. I don't like to rush working with somebody. So maybe someday I will figure out how to do more, but we'll start with a meditation. But is anybody looking for some guidance today? How can I be of service? How can I support you on your spiritual path? It could be the weather. Hey, that's cool. There's a raise your hand emoji. Kimberly, there's an emoji for almost everything, isn't there? Kimberly. Who else? Oh, wonderful, Kate. Yeah, fantastic. So I usually start with a meditation and then we do readings and then I end with a meditation. And sometimes I involve the community, everybody who's present to help support the person who's getting the reading. So lovely to have you here. Thank you. So I've got Kimberly on the list. Anybody else looking for some guidance or support with something today? Thank you for the hearts. Well, maybe more will reveal as we go. So, Carrie, yes, that would be lovely for you too. I can feel that. And Ginger, hello, Ginger, welcome. Anybody else want to introduce himself and say hi? How's the music? Can anyone hear the music? I never know if that's working. Not too loud. Thank you, Ginger. This is one of my favorite IT artists. His name is Peter B. Helland. I'll type it in for you guys. He is from Norway. And this is called the Hidden Valley. Oops, that's just all right. Sorry for the typing noise. There we go. All right. Shall we get started? So, I think I want to just start with a simple meditation today, but let's see how that feels. What are you guys feeling like you're needing? Some people have expressed that they're feeling a little off today. Are we feeling like we could use some love in the heart or some grounding or freeing of some thought? Achy and tired, Ginger. Okay. Hi, Lorette. Oh, it's good to see you, my friend. White hearts. Love it. Cool. Well, we're going to do a simple meditation that'll be very grounding and very still for people. I know it is for me, and I'm kind of feeling that's what I could use today as well. So, um, for anyone who's not familiar or have not listened to one of my tracks, I work with three main energy centers. Now, there's 7 chakras in the body, but I like to focus our hands. Can you see it? I don't know. Here on the belly. I should adjust my camera. So we'll start on the belly. Take your left hand, place it on your belly with the thumb right on the belly button there, and then just take your right hand and place it over that. The other places I like to work with meditating is right here in the heart center, which is a great source of tapping into our love. And then the third eye, which is great for working with mental stuff as well as intuition and perception. So we'll start down at the belly. And just close your eyes and let your feet be flat on the floor. Can't talk today, sorry. And if you're lying down, just be conscious of where your body is touching what you're lying on. If you're sitting, you can be conscious of how your rear and your sit bones and your feet are touching the various parts of your room. And just move your mind to focus on the spot on your body, right where your hands are touching. We're just going to do a stillness meditation. Just try to feel that connection between the hands and the body. Make sure your arms and hands are relaxed. And we're going to do 3 deep breaths. We'll do in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And we're not going to hold it. We're just going to breathe in and then out. Ready? Good. That's 1, 2, 3. And we reflect on stillness in our belly. It taps into the bottom 2 chakras. The root chakra is about grounding. Stillness in the belly lets us become more aware of our connection to our body, connection to the planet. Helps us listen to what our body needs in the moment. And it helps our body relax. And stillness down in the belly center also taps into our very life force, our creativity, the passion, sexuality, and sensuality, which are the realm of the 2nd chakra. And just above that spot is the 3rd chakra, which is the chakra of power, will, conviction, intention. And our stillness there increases our sense of courage and strength as we go through the day. Take another deep breath in and then out. And bring your hands up to your chest, at your heart chakra. Feel the comfort of your hands on your chest. And let a sense of stillness wrap your heart like a blanket. Stillness in the heart center increases our capacity to love both ourselves and others. And increases our ability to have compassion for ourselves and others. And it gives us the strength to feel any and all emotions that may be moving through us. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Take your hands and just lovingly cup them around your neck. Nothing too tight. Keep the fingers relaxed and your arms easy. And just feel the warmth of your hands on your neck, holding it, supporting it. Stillness in the throat center. Throat chakra helps us pause for a moment so we can get clear on what we may or may not need to say. Stillness encourages us to get clear about our boundaries. And it gives us time to think clearly about any thoughts or emotions that we may or may not wish to express in that moment. Deep breath in and out. Take a moment to gently shake your hands and arms if they're getting tight. And then place your left hand on the forehead and the right hand on top. Just feel the connection of your fingers and your palm to the skin of your forehead. In stillness, we gain clarity of thought. And we broaden our ability to perceive that which we cannot normally see. And stillness boosts our intuition. And it calms our crazy thoughts or the busy ones, or the ones we just haven't had a chance to let go of. Take a deep breath in and then exhale it out. And gently bring your hands to the top of your head, to the crown chakra. Here at the crown chakra, this is our connection to the divine, to spirit, to source, to God. In stillness, we strengthen that connection. And in turn, that connection lets us know that we are not alone, that we are never alone, and that source is always with us, ready and available to support us, as long as we open to it and ask for that support. Take a moment to feel your connection to whatever you consider is the divine. And gently thank it for always being there for you no matter what. And one more deep breath in and let it go. Thank you. I bow to all of you. Thank you for doing that with me. I feel a lot more grounded. How do you guys feel? Very wonderful, Ginger. Noticeably better. I love that. Yes. Great, Kate. You're welcome. Thank you. I believe we create a nice group energy here at My Lives, and that will just continue as we go. Anyone else want to share how they're feeling after that before we get to Kimberly and her support and guidance? And welcome to the other people who have joined. If this is your first time with us, my name is Greg Phillips. I'm an intuitive healer and a spiritual energy guide, and I do something that I call ChakraTouch. Yes, isn't it, Lorette? I know you love the breathing part, Lorette. I hope that worked out well for you today. Kimberly, my dear, my friend, what may I be of assistance with? What kind of guidance, support, or question might you have? And kindly do your best to focus it on whatever inside you is sort of calling for the most loving attention. That way we can zoom in on the current need. So in my work, it's quite fascinating for anyone who's new to the channel or new here to the live, sorry. I basically use the chakras in my hands to tap into, in this case, it'll be Kimberly's chakras. And I just hold a space of love. I consider myself a channel for love, but I'm not adding any energy. I'm not taking any away. I'm just witnessing and I'm listening. And eventually the energy speaks to me. And then I help the person, I guide them to use their energy to release, resolve, get a little relief, lessen, unblock, whatever it may be, the question on their mind at the time. Ah, very good. Hello, Gary. Welcome. Um, well, yes, and it depends, Gary. If you're asking my opinion, from my belief system, our emotions are generated based on the thoughts we're thinking. And so if Mercury, since Mercury is, according to Jackie Mancuso, and I believe this as well, Mercury is very much about our thinking, it can have an effect on our emotions, but that, I guess, depends on kind of how present and aware we are as individuals. For me, I don't find it much of an effect, but I do find myself reflecting on a lot and having a lot of needing a lot of the words, recreate, revisit, review on a lot of the ways that I used to think. And of course, that can trigger emotions. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, Kimberly. Kimberly says, am I making the right choice by wanting to move? Will I feel more grounded and safe? That is a really beautiful question, Kimberly. So let's see. There's two parts to that. So I want to see if we can drill down in a little bit more. Well, actually, I need some clarity from you. Questions. Have you actually made the decision to move, or are you still sort of reviewing and considering it? No problem, Gary. Interesting question. I'm not an astrologer, though, so anything I say about astrology, please check with Jackie Mancuso. She's wonderful. She's a great teacher in IT. So, Kimberly, have we finalized the decision, or are we sort of kind of on the fence? Where are we at with that portion of it? Because clearly you're saying that you are wanting to move, and it sounds like you are uncertain. You want to move. Okay. Have you decided to move, though? Like, have we reached that point where you have just made the decision and you're ready to go, but maybe you just don't know where or something? Or are we still sort of trying to figure that out? Okay, awesome. Yes, I've decided. I know where I want to go, but I don't know. What was that? If you'll be approved? Okay, so there's some uncertainty. Okay. I'm not quite sure what the approved means. Is there a process you're going through that someone else has to say that you can do this? Or are you just wondering if where you're wanting to go is going to fulfill you? Okay. Okay. So that's good. So I won't be able to speak to that application process, but we can definitely work on that sort of feeling of uncertainty and the big question around being grounded and safe. So the beautiful thing with our energy is that we always have the opportunity to feel whatever it is we're wanting to feel in the moment, as long as we can find ways and tools to tap into that. So let's see what we're doing, where you are inside. Because at the end of the day, whenever we want something in our external life, it's always because of the way we think that it will make us feel. And because we've had a life rich of experiences of feeling lots of different things, it is possible to access in the moment those feelings without having the actual outside circumstances alter in any way. And if you've ever listened to any Abraham Hicks or any law of attraction, that is one of the key components. It's always an inside job. So Kimberly, I'm sensing a need in your belly for more grounding, but I'm also going to keep checking and scanning elsewhere. Okay, wow, there's a clear signal up in your head. So I just take a moment, my friend, and just bring your left hand up to your top of your head for me, okay? And I'm just going to sense in you have a very active energy going on there. I'm trying to get a bead on it. Do me a favor, make sure your feet are flat on the floor and that you're sitting as straight as you can or laying as straight as you can if you're laying down. And just breathe normally while we tap into this. So there's an anxious energy in your mind. It's the size of a ball, maybe about this big. And yeah, I can't do it very well with my hand. Maybe about that big. It's a tiny little ball. And it is darting around. It's not hitting any surfaces, but it's darting, stopping, and it's making very sharp like that. So it's bouncing around. It'll stop temporarily, but not for very long, and that'll head another direction. And it is just very, very busy. I feel like it's looking and seeking. It reminds me of the if you've ever seen the Harry Potter movies or read any of the books, and they talk about the I forget the name of it, but it's the really small ball with wings, and it moves really fast and darts around. It very much looks like that motion to me. So let's find. Does that resonate? Golden snitch. Yes, the golden snitch. So do you connect? Are you with me on that? What are we seeing? Give me some feedback there if you can visualize that or feel the zipping aroundness. Yep. Nancy, nice. Kimberly, are we connecting to the zipping around in the mind? Okay, nonstop. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So let me see where we can find inside of you a place to assist it. You have a beautiful heart space. It is really lovely. How interesting. This is really, really sweet. I'm getting an image of a soft breeze. You know, when you've been out on a walk and maybe the air's been still and then the breeze suddenly picks up and it just sort of wafts by you like it's caressing your cheek. It's just being gentle. It's not a strong breeze. It's not forceful. It doesn't push anything. None of your clothing moves in it, but it just has that really refreshing feeling as it goes by. Maybe it blows a little bit of your hair or something. It's just a lovely breeze and it just floats around. And that is your love energy. We could definitely work with that. But since we're also asking about grounding and safety, I'm going to check in at the belly. Yeah, see, if for the moment, Kimberly, place your hands on your heart chakra, my friend, and just picture that breeze and feel the calm and the comfort, the caress on your cheek, if you will. Just that very same kind of feeling, but try to feel it throughout that whole chest space while I check your belly. I'm not getting anything there yet, but I think we can work with the heart to calm the mind. So what we're going to do, and anybody can do this. If you guys want to picture this and come along for the ride, you are more than welcome to do that. If having an overactive mind in this moment resonates with you, then go ahead and picture that zipping around golden snitch or whatever small little ball you want to make it, and keep your hands on your heart chakra here, and also connect into that breeze that Kimberly has in her heart. So Kimberly, what we're going to do is we're just going to live in that breeze for a moment. We're going to let it continue to brush by us. And it itself is in no hurry. It's the kind of breeze that's almost, if it had a voice, it would whisper as it goes by your ear and it would say, all is well. Everything is okay. You are safe. You are secure. And you are deeply loved. And we're just going to let that wind wisp around. Wisp is a great word for it. Just let it wisp around and picture it going up your throat, not too fast, just keep its gentle, calm breeze pace. And it's just going to wisp its way up the throat, into the head, and just let it blow around. Don't try to have it do anything except be itself. Okay, good. Can you feel that? I can feel it. And just let it fill your whole head, your whole mind. And as it does so, every once in a while, the golden snitch just gets caught up in the breeze and it stops being busy and it just floats like the wind is holding it. and it's resting on that breeze. And just let the snitch hang for a moment in the breeze, and then it goes back to its busy zipping around, but this time it's not quite as zippy. And then it gets caught in the breeze. Yeah, good. It gets caught in the breeze, and then it falls out and zips around a little more, each time slowing down. Maybe instead of the sharp turns, it's starting to have smoother turns. And then it gets caught in the breeze and then flows back. And see that the wind isn't trying to change it, but it's trying to inspire it. The breeze is letting it know there's a different way that it can hold its energy. Oh, I love that, especially because it's golden. So Kimberly, I love this for you because this is such a great way to work with calming the mind. Um, we're human, right? Our mind can get busy, especially when we're facing big decisions or scary uncertainties. Uncertainty is almost always scary until we make friends with it. But you can find this has been great for calming that. And it also allows the mind and the mental activity to continue, but with less freneticness, if you will, less frenzy. And so if you can hold that space in your mind, and then the mind can calm, and then you might be able to begin to see a different way of looking at this. So whether you get approved or not, this is just my perspective only. I'm not saying that this is right or wrong, but whether you get approved or not, you will be okay. It may not be the exact place for you right now if you don't get approved. If you do get approved, then it was right. And even then, I would guess that after the approval, you then still have another decision to agree to the approval and then make the move, or to go elsewhere. You have all the options. And sometimes we just have to quiet the mind so that we can feel a calmer way of thinking. Is that working? Is that helping at all? We didn't quite get to the grounding, but we did soften the mind, I think. So let me know if we're on track with that. It does. Yeah. I would encourage you also, Kimberly, for anyone who hasn't followed me, I welcome and invite you to follow me. I'm doing lives 2 or 3 times a week, and I have some really lovely meditation tracks. Kimberly, I don't know if you've used any of mine, but I have a recent one, 3 versions of it, called Divine Invocations for Courage, Love, and Wisdom. And I sense that you have, some fear got generated from your golden snitch whipping around. And to maybe try one of those meditations. I have a long one, a medium one, and a really quick short one. And they might help lend some support when the snitch gets busy again. Okay. Good work, Kimberly. That was beautiful. I love that for you. And thank you, everybody. If you also shared in that experience, I'd love to hear from you as well. But that means we are up to my friend Carrie. I probably have room for more. Hello, Gemini Jenny. Do you want to get on the list, Jenny? Because I'm actually got one spot at the end if you'd like. I think that's what she's saying. Oh, and we can share some love with you as well. If you stick around to the end, I do a really wonderful group loving meditation. Carrie, my dear, what do we got? What would you like support and loving assistance with today? I'm going to hold the list there at these four right now. If I have extra time, I will call for more names, okay? You're welcome, Jenny. While Carrie's typing, anyone want to say hi if you're new to the live or just wanting to check in? If anyone worked with Kimberly at the same time on that, I'd love to hear how you're feeling after that as well. Okay. Where are you feeling it in your body, my friend? All right, is there any indication along those lines, or is it not there yet? Okay. Your head and your heart area. Are you experiencing any physical symptoms with the anxiety, or are you just feeling it? Feeling it deeply, it feels like. Okay. I'm going to offer a small suggestion because I don't think you're crazy. I think you're just feeling crazed right now. Okay. So I just want to encourage not identifying with what your current experience is. I know that it is probably a lot, and we'll take a deep look at it. Okay. So just, yeah, heart is very erratic. Yeah. Is Did something has this how long has this been this way? Did something trigger it? Like where do we have a sense, Carrie, of is there a topic that this is related to, or are we just talking general anxiety? Hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist, so I don't deal with that, but let's see if we can find some relief for you right in this moment, okay? So in your mind, there's a similar energy, but to what Kimberly had, but um it's not zippy, it's bouncy, and it's not erratic. So it's a small ball again, and it's bouncing like this, and it's making very clean little arcs, and it's just bouncing around in a circle, and it can have various speeds, but that's basically what it's doing. Bang, 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 bang. Can you feel that rhythm in your mind? Okay. What is your reaction to feeling that rhythm? When you see that and when you hear me describe it, bunka 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 bunka, but what comes up? What are you thinking about it, if anything? So if you guys want to lend Carrie some support, you can place your left hand here on your heart and then place your right hand up in the hair as though you are just gently placing it on her forehead, just resting it there. You can identify with it. Okay. Yeah, so if anyone's wanting to support Carrie, left hand on the heart where all your love is, and just imagine that you are placing your right hand gently on her forehead, kind of like this. Okay. All right, I want you to follow the ball in your mind, okay? And be with it. And I want you to think as you watch it and listen to it, bunka 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 bunka. I want you to think you're okay. Just tell the ball it's okay that you're this way. This is where we're at right in this moment. Okay. I sense some struggle and I can't identify where it is, Carrie. Maybe you can help me out with that if you're feeling a struggle anywhere. Thank you for your support to her, Carrie. So, Carrie, I'm just got an inspiration. We're going to try something. Um, do you have a source, God, higher power? Is there some, what do you call it? Creator. Wonderful. I love that. Okay. So I want you to place your left hand on the top of your head at your crown chakra. Okay. And then take your right hand and put it on your heart. We're going to do, I'm going to just have the focus be right at the top of your head. Okay. Just imagine that your crown is opening and that right there, right above the top of your head, is your creator. You don't have to have an image for it, just a feeling. And ask your creator to fill you with their loving creative energy and feel that flow come down your left arm and right into your heart. Invite your creator to fill your heart space and to stay with you. And in your very heart of hearts, ask it to lend you the strength to be present to what's happening and lend you the strength to find and feel something that you love or someone. And just let the Creator's love and divine courage and wisdom fill you. Doing wonderfully. Ball has slowed down significantly. It's still moving, but now it's rolling on the ground. It's not bouncing anymore. It's rolling on the surface of your mind. It's much calmer. And let your creator's energy, let your creator's love, that beautiful sense of creating things, creating life, creating connection, creating art, creating cooking, creating life in nature. Let that just fill you from head to toe and just bask in it like it's a bubble bath or the glowing, the beautiful feeling of a sunbeam coming down from the sky. How are you feeling, Carrie? Welcome to anyone who just joined. We're working with Carrie right now. I love that for you. I do too. Carrie, you have so much love available in your heart. And I know that the anxiety can dominate. It can take over almost, is what I want to say. That's kind of what I'm picking up on. You have the ability, even when you don't feel it, you have the ability to access that love in your heart and you have that warmth. And when you feel like you don't have it, my friend, that is the ideal, perfect time to remember your divine connection to the Creator. And that connection actually can be anywhere in your body. You can ask for the divine Creator's courage, which would be the lower chakras. You can ask for divine love to fill your heart and open it more fully. And you can ask for divine wisdom to clear the mind, to calm it, to help you see different perspectives, perceive things that maybe you were unable to perceive before. And the biggest thing I want to encourage you, Carrie, I know I know that this is difficult experience. I I've had anxiety myself, but not to the degree that I know a lot of people have, and also the diagnosis. But I just want to encourage you to hold what I call loving allowance for it to be in its own time and place. It's talking to you. It is a message. And whether you need to, I don't know what you need, right? We'll trust we'll trust your process for that. And your part of your process includes, whatever medical or psychiatric help you're getting. But I want you internally, if you can, to just hold a space of loving allowance. What that means is letting it be okay without fighting against it, trying to change it, because our mind can be very powerful in that way, but being present with it and allowing it to be just as it is. And hopefully that allowance gives you enough calm and enough of a peak for a moment to remember to ask your creator for some help. Loving allowance. Yes. It's a phrase I got from one of my teachers about 15, 16 years ago. And he always would start his channeling by saying, I encourage all of you to have loving allowance for all things to be in their own time and place, starting with ourselves. And quite honestly, in my experience, my pain and suffering a lot of times has come from fighting against what's happening. As much as I may not like what's happening, when I rail against it and fight against it and push instead of accept and allow, I don't find a path until I personally accept and allow. And that doesn't work for everybody. Find something that works for you, my dear. Great work. How are you feeling? Do you feel complete? Can I move on to Ginger? Let us know how you're feeling now. Ooh, I'm getting warm. Ginger, as Carrie's letting us know how she's doing after that, why don't you prep your question? Oh, you were very good. Carrie, how are we doing, my love? How are you feeling? Yeah, I think I'm trying to rail against what is, to let go of control and let it be. Letting go of control and letting it be. It is very, I've had many moments in my life, and I'm not going to get into too many stories right now. I will tell this one story I told the other day. So in 2008, the end of 2008, I began a process of losing everything. I woke up one morning and I didn't know what I wanted to do next for work. I just knew I didn't want to keep doing the same thing. And 2 months later, I got served an eviction. And a month later, I had sold as much as I could, packed it into my Mini Cooper convertible, and I'm 6'2", and I set off into the unknown. And 2 months after that was my birthday, February 2009. And I found myself, after house sitting for a few folks and having them let me stay there, I found myself sleeping in my car. And it was one of the scariest moments of my life because my mind was going nuts. It was passing judgment on me. It was saying things like, Greg, how could you have stooped this low? What the heck have you done? What are you doing with your life? You're sleeping on a street, hoping the cops don't like ticket you or get you, hoping you get. And I was just in a panic attack. And I knew I'd never be able to find some sleep unless I could basically calm my system because I was just too busy up there. And at the time, I'd been studying some different spiritual practices, and one of them, which was my favorite, was to just look for look for things that I appreciate, just something that I could feel appreciation for in the moment, something that I loved dearly without any judgment, without any thinking. And I suddenly, as I was sleeping in this sleeping bag that I just bought 2 months earlier for $25, and I had my beautiful, comfortable pillows. No, not gratitude, appreciation. Appreciation is a higher, if you can get to gratitude, then you can make it to appreciation. But appreciation is a higher vibe. And I can explain the difference between the two later. But appreciation, pure love for something, just absolutely like, I just love it. So one of the things that I realized was I loved that I had this really cozy sleeping bag where I was warm and I felt like a little bug snug in the rug. And in that moment, I then realized that my pillows were the just right temperature, the balance between cold and warm, like I liked. And I began to feel safe. And the weirdest thing, and this made me feel tons better, and I don't know why, but I realized that if I needed anything of my belongings, all I had to do was roll over and reach into the back seat. Now, some would say, I don't see how that thought would make you feel any better. Yes, Abraham Hicks with the appreciation of a pillow. Yeah. So in those moments, I was able to calm down, and next thing I know, it was morning and the light was shining in through the car window. So the difference between, for me, and everybody has a different way of looking at these things. So I don't want to make anybody think whatever, but this is just my philosophy. Gratitude is really powerful. It is, I mean, I grew up spiritually writing gratitude lists. I was in 12-step programs for 20 years, and I was writing gratitude lists for a lot of those early years. And it is definitely powerful for getting above the midpoint in terms of the emotional guidance scale, right? Because at the bottom, we've got all the hard, difficult, negative emotions. And in the middle, we're just sort of neutral and comfortable. And then we get into gratitude and hope. And then higher than that is appreciation. So I was taught that and I've experienced that the highest vibration that we as humans have access to right now is the vibration of love. Well, love, means a lot of different things to different people. I think it is all the same vibration, but we have stories, we have ideas, we have whatever about love. Appreciation for me is really beautiful because it's the same vibration as love, but it's higher than gratitude, because when I've reflected in the past about gratitude, I'm often saying I'm grateful for something that didn't happen, right? And so if we take a moment and we think about that, so I will give my example from 30 plus years ago, and I'm not there anymore because I don't do 12 steps anymore. But when I first started recovery, I was grateful to be in recovery. Well, that was true, but the focus was partially in the present and partially in the past. Like I was grateful. I'm trying to think of another example. Let's say you were in a car accident and you came away unscathed. Well, yes, it would be absolutely accurate to say, I'm really grateful I wasn't hurt in that moment. And that's true. And that's 100% accurate and real in that moment in terms of our energy and our vibration. But the focus is still on the accident. It's still on the not, so to speak. It's on, I didn't get hurt. Yes, I'm grateful for that. But then can we take it notches higher? Grateful to be warm includes the vibration of being cold. It does. In terms of the topics, I would have to agree with that, Ginger. I like that. So the appreciation, if we can notch our vibration higher and find those things that we have pure love for, right? So my favorite example, it's kind of goofy, but I'm a goofy guy. Have you ever heard anybody say, I'm really grateful for this burrito? Or I'm really grateful for my orange juice in the morning? No, you usually, if somebody loves it, they're like, oh, this is delish. Like, oh, I love this, or maybe they love sushi, or maybe they love steak, or maybe they love eating vegetarian. Like, it's a higher vibration because it's purely focused on the thing that you're loving. Yeah. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with gratitude. In just my experience, I feel that appreciation is a higher vibe. And according to Abraham Hicks's teachings, which I do love, it is the same vibration as love, and gratitude is not quite as high in there. Gratitude often is our way to access and reach some of the higher vibes. Anyways, a bit of an anecdotal what do you call it? Tangent, but I hope that that was helpful to somebody. Carrie, I'm going to move on to Ginger. Are we good for now, Carrie? Are you complete? We can always do more another time if you wish. I just want to be mindful of our time. Welcome to anybody who's joined recently. You are welcome, Carrie. I'm really, really glad that you brought that up, and thank you for allowing me to be of service to you. See, that's an example of allowing. You were vulnerable, and you let me and everyone really right now in the live be present and supportive of you. So God bless. Creator bless you. And Ginger, you're next. Let's see what we've got, my dear. You are making lots of major changes in your life all at once. I recently moved across the country and I'm finally changing my career drastically. Congratulations. After preparing for the last 10 years or so for that, I can relate. It's taken me 15 years to actually be ready and willing to launch ChakraTouch. I'm looking for support, info, as my body is struggling with tiredness and achiness. I'm feeling it in my high heart and neck. Ginger, you have described your situation quite beautifully. Thank you for that. That is awesome. Okay. Just gonna sense into this. Yeah. Where did you say? High heart and neck. Okay. Ginger, I'm gonna start with the throat chakra for you. Okay, my friend? You're welcome, Carrie. Yeah, sorry you can't stay, but that's totally understandable. Please take care of yourself and we'll see you another time. All right, Ginger. There's something sharp happening in your throat chakra. It's it's uh it's a jabbing motion. The energy is I'm having trouble describing. It's kind of shaped like a icicle or is it flat? It's like an icicle. Do you know how like when an icicle breaks off and it almost breaks off perfectly at that break, but then it forms that cone with the sharp point at the end? That's kind of the image I'm getting. And it's this jabbing motion and it keeps jabbing, stopping, and resetting. Jabs and resets. And then jabs and resets. Let me see what's going on in the heart. See if you can connect in with that, Ginger, while I check in on your heart. The heart is tired. Can you see the throat action or you feel it? Or let me know if that brings anything up for you. Your heart is definitely tired. I feel an emotional weariness. Hmm. Hmm. I almost want to tuck your heart into bed. Feels more dull physically in the throat. Yes, emotional awareness as I changed so much. Feels like I'm going back to square one after being successful in other areas. Hello, Sarah. Good to see you, dear. Ginger. Okay. So another interesting teaching moment. It's not always easy for us to recognize this, but whenever I see somebody use the two words feels and like together, that usually means it's not emotional. It usually means that it's mental, because like, as if, seems, all of that are basically comparison words. And so the mind is yes, it's mental. So the mind is the faculty through which we make comparisons. The emotions just are. Now, they may shift fluidly for some people, or they may not shift at all for others. But there's no comparison in the emotions. So, Ginger, you seem to be really good at identifying and descripting. Um, can you, in an I feel fill in the blank, can you tell me what emotions, without any comparison, without any thought? Well, you can think about what you're feeling, obviously, but what would you fill in that blank with, my friend? I'm sensing exhausted on a physical and emotional level, and the weariness, scared and excited. Okay. You know what? That makes complete sense, my friend. I can relate to your story and your experience. I was so scared to embrace my gift. I've had this gift for 15 years. I really didn't start to explore it or connect with it, that it was something that I could share until last September 2022. And it took me 6 months to actually share it with my family. And that was the safest thing to do. It took me another 6 months to then actually say yes to doing it as a business. And then it took me a month to say yes to getting an Insight Timer. So I completely relate and understand. The fear is very real, but I think you know that it is fabricated in your mind. So let us, the throat energy is fascinating. So, and I could be way off on this. Yeah, so many stories. And I relate. Like, when you said that you feel like you're starting at square one, in reality you are, but also you're not. Okay. And I'm just intuitively sharing with you as people start new businesses and humans. Okay. So the reality of the situation is, when, and I hate using that phrase actually, let's do it this way. If we really get present, right? If we drop in for a moment, so if you will, my friend, place your hands right on your belly, okay, with your belly, with your thumbs resting on the belly button, and just let tap right into your grounding. And when we get present there, we can see that your wealth of experience over the years isn't gone because you've started something new. It's just transmuting. You are taking your skills from that and you're applying them in a new direction. And the new direction is scary because it's uncertain. But when you can ground, let's do this. Picture your heart, and it is tired. in your heart chakra area, and it is walking like it has very little energy, and it's dragging its feet as it crosses over, and it knows it's a heart, but it just doesn't have any oomph right now. And I want you to bring it down, picture it sort of slowly walking down your body. Big or little steps, doesn't matter, and let it reach your belly. When it reaches your belly, have it just gently walk around there, and I'm going to hold that space for you down at the lower chakras. And if anyone wants to support Ginger in this, you can place your hands on your belly and just feel grounding. And Ginger, what we're going to do, I don't know where this came from, but I want you to picture a beautiful bed there in your belly. And it has, I know where this came from. This was an image from last week's. This is awesome. Okay. It has the most inviting, the most beautiful sheets, duvet, comforter, blankets, whatever you want. The pillows are exactly the way you like them. The footboard and the headboard are as beautiful as you want. Just picture whatever it is. Maybe it's a canopy bed, or maybe it's a platform bed. Just picture your ideal, most beautiful, comforting bed. And it just looks so inviting and so safe. And the sheets have already been turned down. And your heart's down there, kind of just aimlessly wandering around. It's tired. And then it suddenly notices this beautiful, inviting bed. And it thinks, oh, that looks really good. Just have your heart wobble over, and don't let it flop in the bed. Let it just sort of fold itself under the covers. Just ease and flow into the bed, and let the covers magically come up to cover it, all safe and cozy. And when that heart is safe and cozy in the bed, lean in close to it and just whisper, "You are safe, you are secure, and you are deeply loved. You can rest now." And just bask in that feeling of comfort and safety as you rest your heart in the bed. I think the weariness, as we've already identified, is coming from the stories. Hopefully, this grounding of your heart can remind you that you are safe and secure and deeply loved. And I don't have the time to work with you to unpack all the stories right now, but I would welcome and invite you to work with me on that. I do privates, they're donation based. If that's a calling, fantastic. If not, come back to another live. We'll get you on the list again and we will work on that. But I have a feeling that you have enough awareness and you just need to be resting that weary heart and resting the mind too, probably, because it's tiring your poor heart out, my dear. Yeah. Yes. That bed is so comfortable, you know? And consider the following, and like I said, we just don't have enough time to drill down on this, but there's a lot to unpack here on a couple levels. I may not be right about this. I am not attached to being right about anything, but if this resonates, Ginger, maybe it's something you seem fairly self-aware, so it might be something you can work with. That jabbing in the throat, the very initial sense I got is that there's something you're not saying or speaking up about, or that there's a boundary that you haven't set. It could be a self boundary. I don't know, but that came up really strong with the jabbing. And the other thing that came up is that the weariness, since we now know that that's fabricated, you might be going through kind of, I don't know the right words, a fake letting go. I don't like using that word fake, but a faux letting go. So like a faux surrender, more of a giving up, like my heart gets so weary, I can't do this, I give up. I don't know if that resonates. If it is, then definitely that working with the throat and the third eye and the mind there, the mind space and the speaking space. Yes. Oh, my dear. Yes. Yes. I so relate to that. I spent so many months going back and forth, being really scared. I mean, my first live was last Friday, okay? I spent the entire week, not an entire nervous mess, but a semi-nervous mess, you know? And I actually sought out guidance from one of my favorite teachers here on IT. And she talked to my guides and they told me the best advice was just think of doing the live as I'm hanging out with a bunch of friends, which is exactly what I wanted to think of it as. And she said, they're saying there's no pressure and there's no rush, just ease into it. And those would be the words that I leave with you. All right. I agree, but I was scared. I was really scared. Yeah, the no pressure and no rush were huge for me last week. So I was able to show up to my first live last Friday and do what these are doing. And you know what my biggest fear was, Ginger? And this, you might have one similar. And I'm just sharing this because I think that the relating is really helping. But the biggest fear was that my gift wouldn't show up, that I would reach my hands out, and because I couldn't hear any of you or see any of you, which is how I've done this, shared this gift in the past, that I wouldn't be able to listen and witness your chakras, and then I wouldn't be able to help anybody. But I can do it. So you can do it too. I believe in you, and like drop me a line whenever you want, and please do follow. My friends, we're going to go a little overtime because Jenny requested some help and she's got a really big thing going on right now. So Ginger, are you complete, my dear? Yes. Lovely. I'm going to do a brief announcement because IT does encourage us to do a small bit of promotion. If anyone feels so moved, heart, mind, body, whatever, to offer an energetic exchange in the form of a donation, I more than welcome it. As I'm sure many of you have probably heard, if you're on an Apple device, they are squeaking 30% off when you donate during the live session. So if you are on an Apple and you feel moved to support my work through an energy exchange of money, then please do donate on my teacher's profile page. If you're not on an Apple device, you have the freedom to donate whenever you want. But even more importantly to me, because I love community and I love connecting with everybody, I invite you to follow me on Insight Timer. I invite you to join my group. It's called Celebrate Love. As you can tell, love is one of my big themes, and being a channel for love is important to me. And I love to share that. If you join in the group, you will get notified of any reflections or musings that I might have along the week. You can chat with others. And I do record all my lives and put them up on my YouTube. And that is where I let people know in my group, Celebrate Love, when those go live. You can also follow me on any of my socials. Go to my IT teacher profile, and I've got my link tree, and that goes to my Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, as well as my schedule for one-on-one privates. All right, very cool. Jenny, are you ready? Do you wish to? Yes. Okay, you're working. So limited involvement. Okay, I get that. Ginger, I'm so proud of you and I want to continue to support you. Jenny, we are going to work for you for a little bit left, and then we're going to do a loving, an energy circle, basically. Just it's this massive love circle, and I love it. And that's how we'll wrap up, folks. Oh, and welcome to anyone else who's joined since then. We're up to 104. I love it. Jenny, do you need to restate your stuff, or shall I scroll back? Is there a succinct thing after you've been listening now, a succinct like focus that you want the guidance and the support for right now? And I know you're working, so you can keep it brief if you want. And meanwhile, I'm going to scroll back and take a peek, an extra peek. I know you're going through a lot. It doesn't scroll back very easily for me, sadly. Okay, great. Okay. Hi, Rev and the gang. Welcome. You're just coming at the end. We're about to help Gemini Jenny. All right, Jenny. So death is probably one of the most challenging experiences that we have. And I don't mean our own death, but the death of a loved one. I'm very familiar with it. I lost my mom in March of 2012. She died from physical things. And I lost my dad in May of 2020. And I lost a close friend, an elderly man that I helped take care of these last 10 or so years. He died in 2018, and both he and my dad died from dementia. And I can't even imagine how a child conceives of this, but I have to believe, because I believe in love, that when we do our best to hold a loving space, both for those who are dying and those who are beginning the grieving process, that even a child of 8 years old has the capacity to understand. Now, I'm not there with you. I haven't been walking in your shoes. I am trusting that you know how to make the right decision for yourself on that. So that's not what I'm implying in any way. What I'm implying is that you can hold in your heart. And that's what I think that we want to work on, is that sense of loving allowance. Because the fascinating thing about death is it really teaches us how we have no control. And it is the one thing that truly humbles us, the death of a loved one, and watching it happen. And really the only thing that we can do is hold a space of love for that. So let's work on your heart, my dear. I just want you to lay your left hand here over your heart and your right hand on top of it. Okay. And if anyone wants to support Jenny with this, we invite you in to do the same thing. I want everybody to just, if they want to support, bring their hands to their heart chakra. And what we're going to do is we're just going to play what's called the appreciation game. And we did this in a previous live. And this is one of the best ways to fill our hearts with love. Okay. So Jenny, I want you to just stay there. I know you're working. You may not be able to put your hands up, but I have a good feeling that you can mentally hold your mind in the heart and just receive all this beautiful appreciation. And everyone else, anyone who's wanting to support, start thinking of things that you love. Like there's no story or judgment around it. You just love it. You just appreciate it. You just, maybe it's a delicious food, or maybe it's somebody that you're close to, or maybe it's somebody that passed, or maybe it's your sense of God or who that is. And just start feeling that and sharing it in chat. You've got a minute. I love it. Just sharing it in chat. And Jenny, I want to invite you to do the same thing, eyes closed, and just in your heart space, fill that with all the things that you love. And I'm going to do the same. And just anyone who's helping support, share it out loud. Say it out loud, write in the chat, whatever feels right for you. And we are just going to amp up the volume and our vibe here so that we are all holding that space of love. You can think of Jenny. You can think of her husband. You can think of their son. Just think of anything and everything that you love. I love that you're all here. I love that you are willing to share this space with me. I so appreciate the vulnerability that people have and the love that people have on this community. I love the IT community. When I go into a live session and people are there loving each other and supporting each other, it is the most beautiful thing that I can ever think of. I have such appreciation for the folks who created Insight Timer. Like, whoa, can you just think for a moment that even 10 years ago, something like this, I don't know when it was formed, but 10, 15 years ago, something like this didn't exist. People like Ginger and I who are starting new ventures, and here we have a platform to share with others. It's amazing. I appreciate being able to feel other people's feelings and walk them through it. I appreciate all of you supporting each other. I love feeling sunshine on my face. I do love burritos, by the way, and I love pineapple juice. And I love this vibe. I was once told about 16 years ago that love is the highest vibration that is currently available to us on the planet. There are higher vibrations that we have not evolved to access yet. Just consider that for a moment. There is actually vibrations higher than love, and love, the vibration of love, feels so amazing. It like calms our system, it heals us without even needing an effort or lifting a finger. It nurtures our very being. All right, whoever's lending support, and Ginger, you can do this too. Lift your right hand up and just hold it out and imagine placing it on the back of somebody's heart, right on their back. That spot gets so little attention and love in our lives. And yet when someone places their hand on the back, on our back, right behind our heart chakra, it feels so warm and so comforting. And just feel that love in your heart. And feel that love flowing into each and every one of you. And we'll do 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth at whatever pace is comfortable for you. And on the 3rd breath, have a big sigh on the exhale. Ah, relax your arms. Yeah. And I'm just going to once again remind everybody here, all 112 of you, that this is such an important reminder to me. So frequently, I need to be reminded, and I'm going to be the reminder. You are safe, you are secure, and you are deeply loved. And remember that whatever you believe in is the divine, you can call on it at any moment. You can call on it for a sense of safety, for a sense of love, for wisdom, for support. for security. Thank you so much. What did you say, Jenny? Sorry. Oh, yes. You really needed that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that that helped, Jenny. You're a dog groomer and both clients are late. Just enough time to receive the gift from everybody. Jenny, God bless, or whatever you call it. I send you blessings and a lot of love. I hope that you can keep that place of loving allowance for yourself and your husband and your son or his dad. I don't know if he's your husband. You know, I sat with my mom in hospice for 3 months as she died, and it was probably the most precious experience of my life. It was a gift that she gave to me, and it was a gift that life gave to me. And I hope that your experience of this is precious as well. It's a very special moment when someone passes. My friends, we've gone slightly over time. Just to let you know, I will be doing a live every Friday. I've decided to do it at 4:44 so that some of my other teachers and friends can attend. It'll be 4:44 Eastern PM every Friday, unless I take a break, but you'll see it if you follow me, you'll get notices. And I'm hoping to do 2 others during the week. My next one is this coming Tuesday at 2:22 PM Eastern. I'm playing around with some fun times that I enjoy, but I haven't settled on when exactly I'll be. Rev J, so good to have you here, my dear. I'm glad. How did yours go, by the way? Rev J is a great teacher, and she channels a group called Peshma, who we lovingly call the gang. And she had a live half an hour before mine, so I wasn't able to attend hers really, and she finally squeaked in on mine. So how did it go real quickly, love? And then we're gonna have to go. Oh, they finally got working. God bless. I love that for you guys. All right, my friends. Yay. How's everybody doing? I'm gonna be saying goodbye and farewell for now. Yes, and love to everybody. Please do follow me, follow Rev on her Insight Timer profile, and please feel free to join our group, Celebrate Love. I'll be putting this recording up later tonight or tomorrow morning, probably. So if anyone wants a replay, or if you think a friend would love to hear this who hadn't been present, you'll be able to share that. You can follow me on YouTube, follow me on all my socials. They're all kind of new for me. Anyways, sending you a lot of love, much appreciation. I really am glad that you guys are willing to show up for lives like this and that we can have fun stirring up the vibe and getting it to a really beautiful spot. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you to all our people. Extra blessings to Kimberly, Carrie, Ginger, and Jenny. And Ginger, please let's connect. I would really like to hear more about what you're doing for your business and offer you my support. All right, my loves. Have a great Friday. Unless you're in Oceania or Pacific Rim, then have a great Saturday. And anyways, I will see you somewhere in someone else's live or mine. And I love it. Have a great weekend. Goodbye and see you later.